Have you ever thought, what if you could just build a brand new programming language from the ground up? Not with a whole team of human engineers, but with a team of AIs. Well, today we're going to break down exactly that. We're looking at the creation of a new language called E++, and it was designed and built entirely by artificial intelligence.
So why even do this? Well, the idea behind it was pretty simple. You know, languages like JavaScript and Python are amazing, but they've been around for decades. They carry a lot of baggage and complexity. The goal here was to just start completely fresh, with a language that feels natural right out of the box.
All right, let's get into it. Here's how this whole thing went down. First, we're going to look at the main idea behind an English-based language. Then, how an AI architect actually designed all the rules. We'll see another AI write all the code, watch the very first test, see how they upgraded it to build actual windows and browsers, and finally, we'll talk about what this means for the future of coding.
So what exactly is E++? Well, that E, it stands for English. The whole point was to create a language where building software feels less like typing weird, cryptic symbols and more like you're just writing simple, everyday sentences.
And really, this says it all. I mean, just imagine it, defining variables, running loops, building entire apps just by using commands that read like plain English. That was the dream, the big, ambitious goal. Now, to turn this idea into a reality, they brought in the first specialist on the AI team, a model called Claude Sonnet 4.6. Think of this AI as the lead architect. Its whole job was to design the foundation, the grammar, the syntax, all the rules that would make E++ work. And this is where things get really interesting, because they were totally committed to simplicity. Claude laid down some incredibly strict rules. I mean, forget about semicolons, curly brackets, all that stuff. In E++, there are only two symbols you can use, a comma and a period. And every single line has to end with a period, just like a sentence in English.
This comparison just makes it so clear. Look at this. Instead of let age equal 25 with that weird semicolon, you just write let age be 25. Want to change it? Set age to 30. And to print something, you don't console.log anything, you just say hello world. It's so direct, so readable. It just gets rid of all that extra noise.
Okay, so Claude, the architect, had created the blueprints. Now it was time to actually build the thing. For that, they brought in the second AI, Composer 1.5, to be the lead engineer. Its task was to take those rules and write all the code to bring E++ to life.
So they took the rules from Claude and fed them straight into the Cursor IDE, which is made for this kind of AI-powered coding. And from there, Composer 1.5 just went to town. And I mean, it was fast. It spit out the entire language interpreter, all built in Python. This wasn't just a shell either. It had the formal grammar, built-in functions, and even a bunch of example scripts ready to go. Of course, having the code is one thing. The real question is, does any of it actually work? This was the moment of truth. Could this language, built entirely by AI, actually run its first program?
So after all that incredible AI design and code generation, did it work? Well, the first try, let's just say it hit a very, very human roadblock.
In a moment that I think every developer can laugh at, the creator ran the code, hit an error, and realized the problem wasn't some deep bug in his new language. Nope, it was because he didn't even have Python installed on his own machine. It's just a hilarious reminder that even with super advanced AI, you still gotta check the basics. But after that little hiccup was sorted out, it was a total success. First, a built-in number-guessing game ran perfectly. But then came the real test, a custom script to ask for a name and print a message. And just like that, the terminal lit up. E++ was officially alive. It wasn't just a cool idea anymore. It was a real working programming language.
But they weren't going to stop with just a simple command line tool. No way. The next phase was all about expansion. They wanted to add graphical user interfaces, maybe even web features. And to do that, they had to call in a couple more heavy-hitting AIs.
So, meet the upgrade team. First up, they brought in Opus 4.6 Max. Its job was to give E++ the power to create actual UIs, with windows and buttons and all that. Then, for an even bigger challenge, they gave an advanced GPT model the task of building web browser capabilities right into the language.
And wow, the results were just night and day. On the left, you see the before, that simple text-based terminal. But after Opus did its thing, you got the after, a fully working graphical calculator. It could even pop up a custom 1920 by 1080 window with just a few simple English commands. That is a massive, massive leap.
And now for the final boss battle.
The advanced GPT model was told to build a browser, and unbelievably it did it. It actually patched the E++ interpreter and created a little browser app. Now, okay, it couldn't actually render the page like Chrome, but it successfully connected to the internet, went to youtube.com, and pulled down all the raw HTML code. The concept was proven. It worked.
So when you take a step back and look at all this, what does it really mean? I mean, building a language from scratch with AI is more than just a cool project. It's pointing to a future where AIs aren't just using the tools we make, they're starting to create the tools themselves.
The whole thing was just this amazing showcase of AI teamwork. It started with a creative concept. Then you had one AI act as the architect, another as the engineer, and then a final team came in to expand on it with GUIs and a browser. At every single stage, a specialized AI built on the work of the previous one, creating something completely new from scratch.
And that really brings us to the final huge question. We just watched a team of AIs create the very tools that we use to build software. So, if they can build the language itself, what does that mean for the future of what we can create with these tools? The possibilities are just starting to open up.